I am Isaac Mendy, born and brought up in Kitty, and I'm a farm field supervisor as I speak, and I am working in the line of school garden project of age late 20s. That is basically what I do, but a specialist in agriculture. I did my certificate in it, my diploma and my Bsc currently, all in agriculture. I am into agriculture at large, but directing it to school gardens, simply because I looked at it. If you say agriculture, what comes into people's mind is commercial farming. And that is why many young people are drawing themselves away from farming, simply because they think you need huge capital to start. But it has to do with the mindset. And to help young Gambians come up into agriculture is to change their mind developmental phases from tender age to grow into adults that takes this field as a lucrative business. Drawing back to previous understandings or past scenarios that's passed through the Gambia here, like the last UTG graduation, out of the number of graduates that come out of the UTG, only 16 could graduate in the field of agriculture in comparison to that population. So we could see the gap of those young Gambians that take that field. We are not even a sort of them ended up into practicing the field of studies as a living. So we believe to help that trend, and as I put it into my pitch, we come to understand that there used to be school gardens, but today those things are no more. The factors could be one, urbanization is increasing and a lot of space is becoming scarce within campus. So we come to realize that schools focus on certain structures and not putting into play things that will help the growth of young people by helping their minds to appreciate nature and take it up as a means of living in the area of agriculture. So my line of production will be school garden, targeting primary school students by nurturing them from small age into responsible people of tomorrow. I am born and brought up from a rural setting, and all I have been doing is farming right from childhood to the time that I graduated from high school. But I was more into farming when there was this scenario of African swine fever in 2011. Around 2002 to 2011, there used to be a massive outbreak of African swine fever, and pig stocks were cleared. Although I own pigs by being betrothed to me, and actually I wasn't having the strength to rear these animals myself, but I watch my mom go feed them on daily basis, and I participate in actually bringing them into the pig pen every evening. So that interaction with livestock, and also been betrothed goats right from that tender age, from my primary school to that time of my age, I was in contact with livestock. So when this scenario came, a lot of our pig stocks were wiped out. So all the pigs that was betrothed actually went. And also there used to be an emergency of a fever that struck the goat industry, and a lot of goats died out of PPM. So looking at all this trend, I said to myself, when I graduate, I will study agriculture. But I ended up in a technical school at St. Peter's, combining both arts and technical drawing. So when I graduated, I was in the lock between, do I choose architectural drawing or do I choose agriculture? So in between the two gaps, I said, oh well, I'll go to the teaching field. I went into teaching field for 6 months. Within that time in the field, I made up my mind, yes, I have to study agriculture. But when the forms were published at School of Agriculture, I came back and studied. I studied certificate in animal health, a diploma. But within this time frame, my view of the whole picture of agriculture widens. And I come to realize that the problem that I am talking of can only be helped with people who put agriculture into application by applying what we are taught at school. But how do we get that? That is the missing puzzle in the area of agriculture as we speak today. Because our academics are centered in such a way that it does not directly address the problem of farmers. And in doing so, we have to change our school-centered approach. The approach should be technically, practically oriented to be able to address the problem of agriculture in the Gambia. And that is wherein the school garden project comes to address. Over these years of study, you will come up with systems that change the attitude of people and make them farmers. With the $10,000, although it does not meet my budget, but to tell you, to be initiative, you have to think in the line of creating surprises. And all about initiative, being innovative, is to solve problems. So I will not limit it to say that I need huge sum, but I'll be able to do something with the 10,000 by starting with a few schools, particularly 2, where I will get the input myself. Out of the 10,000 that I got, I'll be able to buy compost, manure from abattoir, and get some sawdust from where you have sawmills, combined with these things, form good compost, and additionally procure seeds and equipment to be able to start production. So with that, I'll be able to start a pilot plot to show people that of course this can be scaled up into something large.